Sorry, got another story to tell. And it was prompted by a channel called Movie Clips, who was trying to lecture me about YouTube algorithms and Shoestring didn't start it and stuff. And he's got 1,300 subscribers, and it appears that he used an old formula that I used a long time ago, which is I stole a clip from under the 1976 Fair Usage Act. It's the only video I've got that's has 70,000 views, still active many, many years later. But really, what's prompting this a lot is I want to ask the same question that I put to, because he's another idiot trying to tell me that I'm stupid when I just had three highly educated. Oh, and the Chinese lady, she was built almost exactly like my ex-wife, and actually facially prettier. And I remember their names. I have to and we had a wonderful animated discussion here for, more than 30 minutes. They all had to go because they're wealthy techies with, higher education. And they really enjoyed and told me they enjoyed my company and the things I had to say and stuff. So for all of you who are big fans of the criminal known as Hobo Shoestring, you still going to come on here and force me to scroll through and see if you've actually, I have to go into analytics for the newest comments to find you sometimes. And I just want to prove, because I've given out about 3 clues now as to who. This is the question. This is a test of whether or not schools, public or private, are really any good for. I don't think so, because that's one of the first clues I gave, was that the guy who made our lives, modern lives, possible, made this very communication possible, never went to school, public or private. I'll give you now what is the 5th clue. If you go back in the videos, he worked for a bookbinder who often published scientific books. And the bookbinder encouraged him. I know you're not going to get it. I've asked this question of literally thousands of professors from coast to coast, many thousands of students right here at UT and A&M. I know you're not going to get it. Somebody's even already said Tesla. One guy said Werner von Braun, then some Ferdinand guy or something like that. So here's the question I posit to you to see if you're really like me. See, people like me and the fictional Good Will Hunting, actually, I'm kind of like Good Will Hunting. As a matter of fact, I got my library card before I started and finished first grade at 5 years old. And I was this is when we tracked, I was automatically put in the A section just due to my posture, behavior, and diction. So here's my question to you to get this in under 5 minutes. You can look back in the videos there for the other clues. What man, there's a clue right there, it's a man, not a female, not Madame Curie. What man made this communication possible and created the basis for all the ease and comfort of your modern life? Who's the guy who's responsible that you don't have to wash your clothes on a rock down by the river anymore? I'm not talking about some industrialist using his work. Who is the one person I might give you some more clues, but who's the one man who can be credited, because they don't teach it in public schools. They rarely even teach it in private schools. And I learned it from reading a book. Like I said, when I was 5 years old, because I asked the librarian, how do I get a library card? Oh, all we need to do is see a letter delivered to your home with your name on it. I didn't have any ID. So boom, I went straight to the post office, a couple blocks away, mailed myself a letter. Next day, show up at the library, boom, library card. Comes in the mail, actually, at that time. After that, apply for it. Because they had a metal stamped tag on it for embossing. So I'll repeat one more time. Here's the question. If you think you're so fucking smart, who was the one man who made this communication, all communications possible, your vehicle to run? Who's the guy who discovered all this stuff and made so many things, and even in chemistry? Who is the one man that you can point to in the history of science? That's a clue right there. In the history of science, who's the one man who can be truly credited with his genius? And I already gave you the clue, is that he never went to school. I think later he went to university to teach, but not to learn. That's it. I'm done.